It is a fabulous day here in Trnava, Slovakia. Finals day at EYUC 2025, the European Youth Ultimate Championships, live from sun-soaked Slovakia. The fields in Trnava have had some wonderful action all week. And now we move into our second final of the day. That women's final is a tough act to follow, but if any final can live up to that billing, it might well be this one. The mixed division, Hungary taking on France. These two sides have matched up against each other twice already this week. The third one is the one that really matters. I'm Benjamin Rees, alongside Hannah Pendlebury, 7-1 record. They had a pool play loss to the French and then avenged that in the power pool, topping the power pool, giving them the bye through to the semi-final, where they were dispatched Poland relatively comfortably. Of course, that victory, clean sweep of the initial pool, but they did lose Hungary in the power pool, finished second, got the bye through to the semi-finals, and they just about clung on 11-10 against the Italian. Congratulations, spoilers by the way, to the Italian women who, with victory in that final, what a final, by the way.
Absolutely.
Sealed their place as the only undefeated team across all three divisions this week, which I think shows the parity at the top of the European youth scene. The Hungarians in the all right with the red trim and the red and green accents, beginning on offense. It's the navies for Les Bleus with the light blue chevrons, inside out, rip into tight coverage. French defender comes down with it. Looks like there might be a call.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a discussion about this being one of those simultaneous catches. I think I saw both hands pretty much snag it in real time. I'm sure we'll get a little look at the frame by frame, though, as our camera view got it.
We did tell you that they want to put it, often from maybe unorthodox positions or angles.
Yeah, that's as close as it can be to a simultaneous catch from me. Maybe a slight inside window from the defender.
Kinesio tape, holding those knees together, can't find the reset. Option into space instead. Tot, back to Clement, trying to get it moving quickly around the back. Silagi. Jinkana jive, and Clement gets it, faking the high release, but back in the locker for now. Doing a good job of making sure they're finding those discs on low stall counts, but looking for the inside window, it wasn't there. Pauline Dumas will be a big defensive presence if the French are to win this contest. The Hungarians immediately set up the zone on the turn and the drop. Barnabe Erlandste was looking downfield, and that's a relatively cheap one to give back to the Hungarian. Clement will pick up, march it front centre of the end zone. Hungarians set towards this near side, trying to flood across the pitch. High release goes. The French had defenders sitting in the space, but they couldn't keep up. They couldn't flip the hips quickly enough, and it's a hold to begin the game for the Hungarians. Placer. And these two sides having matched up against each other already twice this week, I don't think it'll be a surprise to the French to see the Hungarians come down in this stifling zone.
What, you mean the Hungarians playing zone, Benji? What a surprise.
It's not as windy as it has been at points this week. A few days ago, Wednesday for us, it was somewhat ferocious.
No, just the gentlest of breezes out here today. Almost caress. It's moved directionally left to right on our screens.
Yeah, but certainly for throwers of this quality, you'd expect them to be able to deal with it comfortably. Doing a good job of trying to chisel their way through, but Clement saw the opportunity and he pounced with a big layout block.
Well, doing exactly what he does best. And sometimes there's a bit more of a domination of the male matching athletes for the Hungarians when they play defense. A little bit of shoulder bumping there between Maton and Clement.
Big, wide throw around. Well read there by Kovac Sebastian. Feed through to Marcus. Gonna link back up with Clement in the handler set. And now Clement's pulling the trigger, looking for a big target, but a big block comes through instead.
Well, I'm not sure if any defense actually got their hands on it, Benji. It just looked like a pressure drop to me.
Julien Caillot, one of the spirit captains for the French, was able to apply enough pressure to prevent it going to hand. French looking quite static at the moment. They need to get this disc moving. Plesseur using the high release to try and find some width. This is what you cannot afford to do against the Hungarian zone, is slow down and get pulled slowly, agonizingly into the quicksand.
Well, one thing we see quite a lot in this women's division here in Trnava with some great blades over the top of the zone, but that's a nice curvature on the backhand.
Yeah, it works in the mixed division as well, as you see. Just putting a bit of air underneath it to get beyond that front line. Reset, back to Blanchard. Now Caillot feathers it through the middle. Falor. French continuing to work their way downfield. Defender bids but doesn't get there. Do need to be constantly alert, because the second you switch off, the Hungarians, as we've seen, are liable to flash in. Plesseur. Nice, calm, methodical possession here from the French, continuing to work it. And I think that's a very good holster, because it gets the defender biting, and then they find the option in the end zone. Lisandro Maton, I don't think, touched the disc the rest of that point, but it doesn't matter, because he made the most important catch of all to get the French on the board in this contest. If you want to do that, you've really got to zip it past him while he's creeping up underneath. But with a floater, it's always going to be a tough ask. A skyscraping forehand towards the end zone. Can they chase it down? Yes, they can, with aplomb. Miksa Mikan with the grab to Plesseur. Again, chipping their way forward. Not unlike one of those great French rugby sides, just going through the phases. Disc on the floor. Profanta now looking to air it out once more, and rising highest with a superb take there. Strategic chess match here at the moment. Down the line, one step shy, unable to squeeze it into the end zone. Touzé finds Maton for the French score.
People often say that youth athletes don't have the body control required, but that's going to be controlled well by Clément.
Lovely leading pass to put them right on the precipice, and it is punched in with aplomb. Leguer is very tight to that sideline, but his feet were in bounds. Trying to float the hammer over the top. That is a risky biscuit, but it works out. And Amur trying to line it, squeezing it down the sideline, and they jam it in the jam hole to Arthur Leguer for the goal. And that's the one thing you can say about the Hungarian turns, is that they've not allowed the quick pickup from the French, and that's meant that they have given themselves time to get the zone set on every occasion. At the moment, the French happy playing in their own end zone. The break around, offline, intercepted, and then ruthlessly punished by the Hungarians. Harakali in to Rubishek. Asmani Kozma, and now that's going to be aired out towards the far side. What a grab from the Hungarians. The defender had position, but it did not matter one iota. Blanchard felt like she was favourite.
Of course, it's been a different affair. The breaks have been extremely ruthless, this Hungarian team, when the French have given them a sniff, not taking control of the game.
Silagi. Back to Clément. And Clément airing it out, soaring towards this far side. What a grab from the Hungarians. Seems that there is a lot more purpose about this possession from the French. They do not want to let the Hungarians get fully set, and they're trying to keep it moving quickly. Started right from the pool where they attacked it. feathering the high IO flick to space for Maton. And there you see it, the miscommunication. Now they've got the opportunity for the quick pickup that usually they don't have. A 3-on-2. Trying to blade it around Clement, and it works. There is the break the French craved. Airing it out. This is a little bit dangerous. And French defenders storm through. 3 players in the area. And the Hungarians, if you're expecting them to transition into a match defense, you'll be waiting a long time because they will stick with it all the way. Berthelot over the top, a beautiful blade. And it just shows that maybe there is going to be more ever increasing wear and tear in the Hungarian O-line. Back to Gubek. So again, this time throws it right into the hands of the big man Luguerre. I think frustrated, maybe doesn't quite tell the full picture. Oh, the hammer over the top, catching the Hungarians off guard, right into the bread bin of Lisandro Maton. The French break again, and for the first time all game, they're on top at 8-7. The rematch, which they, again, you mentioned was a tight game, but they were never behind in that. But they did find that late comeback to come out the win over Italy in the power pool. A scorching deep shot out of the hands of Clement.
Just gripping it and ripping it. And again, Mikan having a brilliant game today. He has been nigh on picture perfect for the Hungarians when they've called his number. He has answered the phone. And the sideline really enjoying the vibes here. Yeah, I think I see a signalling for 2, so it's that you have to drop the stall by 2 on the marking infractions. And then a reset to 0 if that is a secondary further one. Oh, but that's a great block for V.
Zips the hammer past the bidding defender.
Well, I think there's going to be a foul call and a discussion about going over the back and the top with the layout. I mean, a fair contest as I saw it in live play, but we'll get another look at the tape. I mean, this is the classic way. The defense in front, we have to see that one slowed all the way down. It does look a little bit like it is over the top, but it's called a goal after the discussion. So a retracted foul from the defense, and indeed it's 9-8 to Hungary.
Alain Stey goes back to Amur. Looking to generate drive with the throw and go. Knifing it over the top. That one is going to stand to Lagarde. That makes it Hungary 9, France 9. Game to 10. You know what that means. Universe point, sudden death, double championship point. The ball hangs and floats and fielded by Clement. First pass, short to Molnar. Gubek with the distinctive shades. Going back, hammer faked by Molnar. Clement again, often a playmaker. This time, just trying to stay in rhythm and in phase. Molnar. Going back to Gubek. 3-player dominator at the moment for the Hungarians in the backfield, downfield, very downfield. Maton trying to make a monster of himself on the mark, really running the front line of the French defense. Getting Prefanter involved. Just past the bidding figure of FRA. Maybe an opportunity. Great switch rolled off at the front, but they don't stick with it. And now there's space there. Molnar, can he step into a throw? Going with the inside-out flick across the field and ripped away by Barnaby Alain Stey. It was a look of real temerity. I will have to have another look at it.
Well, let's slow down the tape and the heat a little bit. Oh, that does look very good. You've got 2 players contesting the same space. Sometimes you have to take responsibility for your own angle coming in.
And they are saying that it is a turnover that stands.
I think that is the right outcome, Benji, especially on double game point and championships on the line, no less.
Credit the Hungarians there for being able to give up that call in that clutch moment. And, you know, much has been made of their spirit issues in the past, but so far this championship, you know, to be able to give up that call there is huge, and they're going to get it back, try to curl it around, but Molnar denies on the tip and the reach and the stretch, and now Molnar will pick up, looking to gun them to victory. Tried it once with that scorching IO flick that was grabbed by Erland Stay. Jump step into the backfield for Molnar. Back from Clement. And coming towards the far side, the Hungarians have done it! A closely fought affair all the way through. The French came out of the second half like a steam train, but the Hungarians held firm in the end. And in this most closely fought of battles, the Hungarians have emerged on top once again. Hungary, your EYUC Mixed Division champions 2025.